I just finished my iPod series where for the month of June I listened to music exclusively through an iPod. And that was its whole own journey over 4 separate videos. But today I want to talk more specifically about the iPod. Well, not this one, this is just scrap parts. I'm talking about this one, my own custom iPod. I had never done an iPod mod before, but there is a very active online community of people doing this, making new parts and building incredible builds. So today I'm going to show you not only how I made my own custom 1 terabyte iPod, start to finish, but also how you can enter to win the other one that I made. Alright, so first I started with a 5th generation 80 gigabyte iPod Classic. This is the same model I used to have back in the day, which is why I got it. But it turns out that this actually has the best sound card out of all the iPod models, and it's easier to get open than the metal 6th and 7th generation ones. I got mine on eBay for like $100. As the month continued on, I just loved using this iPod more and more, but I began to wonder about the long-term usability of it. It still syncs the old-fashioned way, showing up in the music app, but also in Finder, which is the primary way of syncing. But Apple hasn't sold these iPods in over a decade, and if they decide to stop supporting the syncing, that's it. Plus, 80 gigabytes is a lot of music, but I started to wonder, how big can you take this thing? I discovered the iPod modding community, shout out to DankPods, and I started to think, you know what, I think I can do this. I can customize my own iPod. And then I discovered the book Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, and he talks about choosing the digital tools that you use and then optimizing them for your own use. And then I realized that I have to do this. The only problem is I've never done anything like this, ever. Well, almost ever. A few years ago, I worked briefly at a company called Vanguard Audio Labs. It was started by a friend of mine. They make incredible sounding microphones, and as part of my job, I would do mic repair. But here's the thing, I didn't actually know what I was doing. I knew how to do a specific repair, some light soldering, threading wires, but an iPod's electronics are much smaller. Plus there's a screen, and frankly, my own personal attachment to this thing. I'd been carrying it around all month, and at that point, if I ended up breaking it, that'd be a massive disappointment. But still, I had to do it. So I ordered some parts. This is not sponsored, but I ordered almost all of the parts from Elite Obsolete Electronics. So after setting everything up and queuing up an iPod mod video on YouTube, I was ready to go. The first challenge was getting this thing open. Here's the thing, my entire life, I have been like too rough on things. I've broken so many things in my life that I just walk around the world now with caution. Any door, like if the doorknob is stuck, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's locked. And then usually someone comes over and goes, you just have to push on it. But I would rather them do that than me break the door. You know what I mean? Ah! So I'm scratching the side there. Okay, well. Supposedly this is the easiest iPod to open, but I still struggled with it. Ah! I am just scratching this like crazy. Let me see how this guy does it. How are you doing this, man? You made that look so easy. This is so... blood, sweat, tears, and scratches, man. Like, look at... oh, God. Come on. I gotta get this open. This is step 1 and I'm stuck. Oh, let me turn you off. I'm so sorry. You should be asleep right now. God, nurse. See that? Boom! I'm in. I did it, Ma! Oh! I got it. I got it. I got it. Look, I have destroyed the side of this thing, but I got it. Once I got it open, then it was time to start disconnecting things. Next, I'm gonna remove this hard drive. And on the video, he like just took his fingernail. I mean, I'm wearing gloves and also I don't have fingernails, so let's see what we can do here. This honestly feels like a Bob Ross paint along. That's the idea of what you're supposed to do, is like paint along with Bob Ross. I don't know if you've ever done that before. I have actually done it twice. It's amazing. Amazing experience. This is much less relaxing though. There's this little latch that holds down the cables at each step, and this was nerve-wracking because I didn't really understand how it worked, and if I rip a cable, that's it. Let's see, come on. I don't get it.
No, there's just like a chip in it.
But fortunately, I eventually figured it out.
Oh!
I got it. Now that I understand it, super easy. Watch. Here it comes. Boom. Okay. I'm feeling good. I got this. I think. Now, if I was just doing a straight up battery replacement and hard drive upgrade, I wouldn't have to do what I'm about to do. But I've decided, like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, right? So I've already kind of scratched up the faceplate. I've scratched up and bent the frame here on the back plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace these with new ones too. So in order to do that, I have to separate the faceplate here from the frame. Just like that. Oh my God. What is happening? There it goes. Okay, that's the front plate. That is the click wheel. The button is just loose. That's just a loose button in there. Did you know that? I'm so nervous about this. Okay, so the motherboard, it's like glued, and I'm just gonna push it out. I can hear it coming off. Oh my God. The first new part I installed was the click wheel. This has to not only slide into the connector, but also stick to the logic board. I'm gonna use the tweezers. Okay, it's in and it's stuck. We just gotta flip the bail down here. Yes! Okay. Of course, then I was turned around and didn't know how to put it all back together. This is the... This goes... How does it go? Around the frame. Oh, yeah, I have it backwards. See, this is what I'm saying. If I forced it and was like, oh, it's gotta go in, I would break it. I eventually figured it out and got the new faceplate installed. Now it was time to upgrade the internals. The iPod originally had a spinning 80GB hard drive, but I installed an iFlash Quad, which is an adapter made specifically for the iPod that takes micro SD cards. I installed two 512GB cards for a total of 1TB of storage. There we go, 1TB iPod. As for the battery, this iPod model originally came with a 600 mAh battery, but I'm putting in a much larger one. 5 times as large to be exact. A 3000 mAh battery. Oh, it's lighting up! It's lighting up! Ah! Ah! Yes! It says connect to your computer. It works, it's alive! Ah! Okay, I still gotta piece it back together, but it's alive, look! The final piece is the backplate. This came with the headphone jack and hold button pre-installed. I knew I wanted a custom engraving on the back, so I asked Ace, who does the visuals for Digging the Greats, to make a design, and he just knocked it out of the park. But I needed to get the design laser engraved, so I hit up my friends at Vanguard Audio Labs and had them engrave it. Be wondering, why does it say 1 of 3 on the back? Well, I'll explain that in just a second. First, let me tell you about Rockbox. It's an alternative software for the iPod that allows much more customization, themes, and easier syncing. You can use the Rockbox installer on a Mac, but the catch is the iPod itself first has to be formatted for FAT32 via iTunes for Windows. Now, I don't have a Windows machine, I'm all Mac, But using Parallels for Mac, I was able to install Windows, kill the Finder on my Mac so it doesn't keep trying to communicate with my iPod, and then reformat the iPod in order to install Rockbox. My iPod now has 1 terabyte of storage, a 5 times bigger battery, a Rockbox, a custom backplate, and an amazing look to it. Now it's time to do it again. And then again one more time. Yes, I actually made 3 of these custom iPods. One of them is mine, the other I gave to Ace, but the third could be yours because I'm giving it away. To enter, all you have to do is join the Digging the Greats Patreon at any tier, free included. I'll be hosting a Patreon live stream on Saturday, August 17th to announce the winner. If you're already on the Patreon, you're already entered to win. Overall, this was an incredible experience. I would absolutely do it again. It's so satisfying to take this thing apart, fix it up, and now I have my own custom music player. If you're thinking about modding your own iPod, you should absolutely do it. I'll link to the tutorial video I used in the description, as well as the specific parts and tools that I used. And then if you want to win the 3 of 3 custom Digging the Greats iPod, become a member at patreon.com/diggingthegreats.